Hey guys, my name is Mr. and today I decided to venture into some Team Fortress 2 because just today Valve released a beta early access of 2 new maps and a brand new game mode. The 2 maps are cool, you'll see them throughout today's video, but the game mode is what really interests me because it's a cool twist on capture the flag. And so the first time I jumped into it, I honestly had no idea what I was doing, and I actually searched around the internet and a lot of people had no idea what was going on because it doesn't really do a good job of explaining what the hell you're supposed to do. And so if you were like me, the basics of the game mode is that each team has little robots that they need to defend, and the objective is to go over to the other team's base, kill their robots, pick up the little cores that they drop when they get destroyed, and those cores go directly toward your team's tally, and then once you reach 300 cores, you immediately win. The twist on it, though, is that if your team is getting dominated, let's say, for example, the enemy team is doing a phenomenal job at taking out all of your robots, but you can't seem to take out any of theirs, you have the option to sneak over into their enemy team's base, go like way behind enemy lines into their core room, and then once you're in that room, if you stand in a spot, you'll start to collect the enemy team's core that they've been accumulating. So theirs go down, your goes up, and then if you're able to take the massive core back to your base, then you get all of those cores and you're one step closer to winning the round. And so it's a very interesting dynamic of offense and defense. Do you want to just go all out and try to take out as many of the robots as you possibly can? Do you want to sit back and defend your robots and make it really hard for them to destroy yours? Or do you want to go all Rambo and win the game for your team and go behind enemy lines and capture all the hard-earned cores that the enemy team accumulated and then bring them back to your base? It's honestly a hell of a lot of fun. Also with this beta early access, we get to play on 2 brand new maps. The one you guys have been seeing me play on is called Asteroid, and the second one is called Cactus Canyon. It is clear that this truly is a early access beta. Like, this is not just a demo, this is just not a way for them to, you know, slightly tweak a couple of their maps. Like, no, these are incomplete maps. It's just clear that they have a lot of plans on adjusting them and changing them based on our feedback, and the best example of that I can think of is that on Cactus Canyon, there isn't any cactuses and there isn't any canyons. But realistically, the largest noticeable difference is that on Cactus Canyon, there actually isn't a backdrop. Like, there isn't a biodome around it. So if you go towards the fringe of the map, you venture towards the sides, you're flanking around, you'll notice that there's sections where the map just ends. An abyss just opens up in front of you, and there's nothing out there. And so it's clear that they'll probably add in a canyon. There'll probably be a couple of cactus out there as well. But it's really just cool to see that they're even doing this. Like, a lot of developers don't even have early access beta phases for new features, and I would like it if more developers went down this path because it allows the gaming community to give their feedback. They can let them know what works, what doesn't, what they would like to see changed on a couple of these maps, and then developers can make the adjustments. And Valve has already made some adjustments. Like, this has only been out for about a day now, and there's already been a couple of small tweaks to these maps. Granted, one of them needed to be done. I think that there was one section where an engineer could place down a sentry below the map where the enemy couldn't see it, and it could just take them out every single time they rounded the corner. It was game breaking, so they needed to make that adjustment, but it's good to see just that they are allowing the community to give their feedback. One thing that I've been loving with the games I've been playing right now is that they have these beta phases. Battlefield finally has their CTE server. They're making sweeping adjustments across the board. And while QA teams for every development cycle is important, like, you want to have a QA team, they're what finds bugs, they're what finds the large major glitches in games. But there is something to say about having thousands of hundreds of thousands or even millions of people playing your beta servers, testing out new content, letting you know what works and what doesn't, compared to a QA team where even if you have a couple hundred people working on a couple of these maps, there's no way that they're going to be able to find all of the issues compared to thousands and thousands of gamers testing it out on these beta servers. So I love this trend that more developers are going down. I know that some people will say that this is a cop-out and this is just abusing the player base because, you know, hey, I'm not paying for a beta, you know, I'm not paying for, you know, testing these features. That's not why I purchased this game. And while I understand this argument, I still think that having the feature, having beta servers like what we have right now in Team Fortress 2, what we're getting in the CTE server for Battlefield 4, and hopefully for other large major AAA titles, it gives players the opportunity who want to give their feedback and contribute to the game the opportunity to do so. And so I personally love this idea idea. I hope it continues, as long as it's not abused, as long as it's not ridiculous, as long as we're not getting broken content at release. I'm actually looking at you, Battlefield 4. Like, if you're launching games and you're expecting the community to fix it after it launches, and I know I'm being a little hypocritical because I love the CTE server, I think it is a great step in the right direction, but I would like it more to be something where we get finished products, we get something that is complete at launch. But if you want us to test out new features, if you want us to test out new maps or new gameplay or new game modes, then this is the best way to go about it. But if you would like to play on these brand new maps and this new game mode, this beta early access is appealing to you, all you have to do is launch Team Fortress 2. You have to go to the quick play option. There'll be a little button at the bottom left-hand corner, I believe, where it will say beta access, and then it will open up the two different new game modes, or the two game modes that you can select. One allows you to play on Cactus Canyon, and the other one is on Asteroid. You can search for a server, jump on in, and have a good time. But yeah, guys, that's about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about this whole early access beta trend. Do you like that more developers are trying to include their player base in testing out new features? Let me know down below. But until tomorrow, have a good one and take it easy.